So it's about 5. I mean, I'm just going to talk about some general stuff before we start. So, let's get started. At least, I think for the list of questions, so I'll basically follow that. I think those are good. Yeah, all 5 of those are good to start with. I may or may not skip some steps, depending on the problem. Like, 4C has 2 solutions. I'm clearly not going to do both of them. But I have the solutions to all of them worked out, more or less. So I'll release those on like Saturday. Because I want you guys to try them a little bit, at least tonight, and then tomorrow I'll release them. Okay? Right, the snacks in the back, and the old quiz is also in the back too if you need them. So, are there any like logistical questions about the exam before we start? Dates? Anything? It's on Wednesday, right, from 10:30 to 12:30 in the same room as the lecture. Okay, so let's get started. Yeah, sounds good. Cool. All right, so first on the list is 7B, which is a Laplace transform. So 7B on the practice final is to solve x double prime plus x equals cosine of 3t with initial conditions x of 0 equals 1 and x prime of 0 is 0. Okay. So for any of these Laplace questions, guys, what's the first thing that we do to our problem? Yeah, Laplace transform it, right? So, okay, good thing you guys will have a table, right? Maybe not mine, but like rather the professor's table. So the derivative should be on there. So how does x double prime transform?
S squared.
S squared transform x, yeah, and then
Minus S equals 0.
minus s x of 0, so that's just 1, right? So we get a minus s. And then there would be a minus x prime of 0, but that's just 0. So this is all that we have from x double prime. Transform of x is just big X of x. Yeah. And then cosine, 3t.
S over S squared plus 9.
Right. S over s squared, and then plus 9, where 9 we get from the frequency squared. Right? So that's our transform. And then what do we do after that? What do we rearrange for? Solve for big X, right? So like factor anything that you see with it. So we have an s squared plus 1. And then we have a minus s, but we want to move that to the right side. So we're going to have plus s, and then plus s over s squared plus 9. So it's okay if you chat a little, but keep the voices down if you do. So this is what we got, and then the last thing we need to do is divide by that s squared plus 1. So we have big X of s is like s over s squared plus 1 plus s over s squared plus 9 times s squared plus 9. And that's what we have to, and that's what we get for our transform solution. Okay. And then now if you want little x, you need to invert this. So we're gonna have to micromanage this. So x of t, little x of t, is the inverse transform of big X of s, which is the inverse transform of that. Right. Which we can split up as the inverse transform of the first plus the inverse transform of the second. Right. First one is easy. Well, I mean, it's tables, right? It's not, I shouldn't say easy. But you can look this one up. That's the, oh, oops. This was the troublemaker, right? The one with the s squared plus 1 and s squared plus 9. So there's 2 ways to do it, actually. Like, Person S, Brandon, you did partial fractions. That works. There's another way you could do it.
Convolution.
Convolution. So make this into a product and then take the convolution. Or the inverse is the convolution of the two inverse transforms. Okay. So I think on the exam you probably would go with the partial fractions because the convolution one needs a trig identity. So I'm going to show that one. And the convolution one will be in the solutions. I worked on both, or sort of. So we know that x of t, so we have that x of t is going to equal to, okay, inverse transform of the first one is what?
Cosine.
Cosine. Right? Cosine has the s. Sine would just have a omega. So cosine of t, and then plus the inverse transform of this guy. So to do this one, we need to do partial fractions. Right? Here, we're going to split up that term. How so? What are our partial fraction pieces going to be?
X plus b over s plus 1 plus ds plus d or s squared plus 9.
Yeah, so our two factors are these irreducible quadratics. That's the main thing. And that when they're irreducible quadratics, we guess linears, such as as plus b over the first one, and then like cs plus d over the second one. Okay. Good. And what do we do first when we go about solving this? Yeah, so whenever you want to solve for partial fractions, multiply by the whole denominator of the original function. That's going to kill off all the denominators. So you can multiply by that. Multiply by everything by s squared plus 1. S squared plus 9. Right. What we're going to get, left-hand side will just leave an s. Okay. And then here we have as plus b times which one?
S squared plus 9.
The plus 9. So that means cs plus d has the other one. Okay. Unfortunately here, right, these are intentionally, they don't have roots, so you can't plug in nice points and pick out coefficients. So we have to do this the traditional way. So here, right, we have to extend this out, unfortunately, right? So we have s equals, for example, as cubed plus bs squared plus 9as plus 9b. And same thing with the other one. So that's just the first one. Plus cs cubed plus ds squared plus cs plus d. Right? Well, the main point of doing this is to read off what? What do we use this for? We get equations to solve for our coefficients how?
S cubed together and S squared compare the coefficients.
S cubed together, S squared together, the coefficients of the powers of S. Right? So those are your function types. So here, let's look at the coefficients. S cubed, what's the coefficient on the left? 0. What's the coefficient on the right? Yeah, a plus c. Right. At least they're kind of nicely ordered, but that's about it. The same thing for s squared. Left side?
0.
0. Right side?
B plus b.
A plus d. Okay. S to the first power, what's the left side?
1.
Good. And the right side?
9a C.
9a plus c. Yeah, and then constant, another is 1, right? Left side,
0.
and then right side,
Plus 9b.
9b plus b.
9b plus d. Good. So when we solve these, you'll notice that like they're kind of pairwise coupled. Like these two equations involve a and c. These two equations involve b and d. Right? So maybe it's best to just number these like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? So when we use them, we can solve a little easier. So like we know 1 and 3 are paired. So when we look at those two equations, how can we like just eliminate one of the variables? Subtract, let's subtract 1 from 3. So like 3 minus 1 is going to tell us that 1 is still on the left, and then what's left on the right? 8a, so a is 1/8. Right. If a is 1/8, well, 1, yeah, c is -1. Cool. Okay, now we basically should have almost everything. Right, so we'll do the same with 2 and 4. Right, that's a 4 minus 2. Right, so 4 minus 2 tells us what?
0 equals 8b.
0 equals 8b, so we get b equals 0, and plugging that back in into like 2, we get d equals 0. So what does this mean? This means that so this means that that's what we plug in for A, B, C, and D here. In other words, it kind of simplifies nicely that term that we had before just split up into like 1/8 of each. So it's like 1/8 of the 1/8 of the 1 over s squared plus 1. That was 8. Yeah, and then minus 1/8 of the other ones. S squared plus 1. Okay. And now those are very easy, or those are much better to invert. So the inverse transform of the old one. Right, you can like kind of skip this when you're doing it in the test. This is for presentation's sake. We can split it up with the partial fractions. I made a mistake, didn't I? What was the mistake?
There's a question, yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to have an S. Yeah. Thank you. But these should be S's. That's my mistake. So yeah. Okay. Want to see the solutions along with it? Did you want to see the solutions along with it?
No, I said I just wish these solutions didn't take up half a page.
Oh, yeah. It's even more fun to type it out.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, this. The first one gives us 1/8 of what?
Cosine.
Cos t. And then what about the other one? Negative 1/8 of?
Cosine 3t.
3t. Right. So we add this to that. Right? So go all the way back. Plug back for little x of t. We get x of t is, what was the first one? Yeah, cosine t plus 1/8. You can combine it, I just don't really care. And then minus 1/8 cosine 3t. And that's your final answer. Are there any questions on the steps? always remember, transform the equation first, isolate for your transform solution, and then invert. Right? As long as you get that basic principle down, hopefully you get most of the credit. Another thing to kind of note, right? Complementary solutions of this, like if this was a 0. Complementary solutions are cosine and sine t. So that's the complementary piece. Particular piece should look like something cosine of 3t and something sine of 3t. That's the particular piece here. So it looks like yc plus y, or xc plus xp. Just something to note. Cool. So yeah, one more check. Any questions before we do the next one? Okay. Cool. So next one, 4C. Right here. 4C is an inhomogeneous form, right? Okay. So we have x prime. He puts of t just for emphasis equals 1012 x t plus 4/3. Or it's not 4,3, not 4/3. Sorry. And he says undetermined coefficients is easier. And in general, actually, like, assuming you don't have a terrible right-hand side, undetermined coefficients is usually easier. Like, only because the solving for it is kind of just computational. Whereas eigenvector decomposition, you need to like set up your system, solve each component, put it all back together. So, I mean, it's up to you. It's of course up to you to do it, but that's kind of the trend in general. Also, this usually always works for at least the problems we'll see. Yeah, like if there's like a defective eigenvalue, then you have to use this. That's the caveat. But I don't think we should ever see that. Okay, so even in the inhomogeneous case, like we have this plus 4/3 vector there. What do we do first?
Find the eigenvalues and the eigenvectors?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're finding complementary solution. So if the matrix is upper triangular, what can we read off? They're exactly the diagonal. So use this if it's available to you, right? He intentionally did this, I'm sure, because like part of this problem is to do the inhomogeneous stuff, not this. Right? So just you want to know that shortcut. It's there. So right, because upper triangle. Also, if it's lower triangular, it's the same thing, right? If it was like 1, 1, 2, 0, it's the same thing, even if it's lower triangular. So like, don't be fooled by that. Next, we need the eigenvectors. For each. So like, lambda equals 1. Right, so like for lambda equals 1, like what we do, we solve a minus lambda I equal v equals 0, 0. So if we subtract 1 off the diagonal for a minus 1i, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. What does this tell you? So first component's free, the second component's 0. Your eigenvector looks like a constant times 1, 0. Do the same for lambda equals 2. Now we subtract 2 off the diagonal. So the first entry becomes a negative 1. 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, So this tells us,
V2 is 3.
yeah, well, V1 and V2 are equal, so set V2 free is fine, right? If you happen to set V1 to be free, that's fine too. Both ways are fine. Main thing is, what's our eigenvector? 1, 1, right? You can actually kind of see them immediately. Like, the first column is itself an eigenvector. And the other one is like, oh, you can check that pretty quickly. Like, multiply that matrix to that, and you get 2 times 1, 1. Right, so, good. And main thing is that, like, what we want to see is that if we have any overlap with our, if our inhomogeneous part has any overlap with our complementary solution, right? That's what we always want to check. Like in chapter 2, right, we have to check if there was any overlap in that case as well. And then we have to like change our guesses appropriately for undetermined coefficients. So that's the whole reason to do that. And also, well, you need this for the general solution anyways. Okay. So I guess it's to write it out. The complementary, what would it be given by?
C1 to the t.
C1e to the, right, 1t we could do first, times what vector?
1, 0.
1, 0. Right, so e to the eigenvalue times t times that eigenvector corresponding to it. And then similarly C2, t, e to 2t, and then 1, 1. Yeah. So that's your complementary. And mainly, it doesn't overlap with the inhomogeneous part. Okay. So that means now we can do undetermined coefficients pretty freely. So what do we guess for our particular solution? Sorry?
We could just guess as vector A because the derivatives of 4 and 3, they go 4 and then 0. So A1, A2.
Yeah, just a constant vector. That's a vector of constants, right? It's constant, so you guess a constant vector. So we guess like A1, A2, or you can say like AB, whatever. Right? Quick question. What if this said like 4t and 3? Then what would you guess? So maybe one person at a time. So raise your hand. Because I can't tell what's being said. Yeah.
Would you split it up into 2? So that it's like the 4t would be like 4t0 plus 0, 3?
Well, that's how you want to think about it. So then what would your guess be for XP?
So like AT0 over, and the second part would be like 0B?
Close. That's almost it. Does anyone want to help them out? Oh, I'm sorry. So if it was something like 4t and like negative or whatever, positive 3, so like if it was this, what you want to guess is like t times a constant vector plus another constant vector. It's like you're guessing a polynomial vector. So you want to emulate that. Just keeping you on your toes here. Here it's just a constant, so it's kind of like easier. Right? Okay, if this is our XP, what's XP prime? Just 0. Okay. Derivative constants are zeros. Okay. Right, I'm just going to segment this off. Okay. So what we really want in here is just this, right? This is our problem. Or this is for our problem. What do we do with this now?
Plug it back into the original.
Plug in, just like we did before. Plug into the equation. Okay. So, do that. Okay, at least the left-hand side is easy, right? The left-hand side is just derivative, or xp prime. So that's just 0, 0. And then here, we're going to multiply this matrix to just a constant vector, right? So like, maybe I'll write it out all the way. So we'll have 1, 0, 1, 2 times our xp, which is a1, a2, plus the inhomogeneous part. So what results? Right, left-hand side is still 0, 0. What's that matrix vector product? A1 plus A2, 0 plus 2A2. Okay. So A1 plus A2, first entry, 2A2, second entry, and then plus the forgeries. Plus 4 comma 3. Sorry. Sorry. And then from this, we basically are set. Right? You're set to solve your coefficients. Even if it's something that's weird, you're always set at this point. So whenever you get to this point, there's kind of like a way you want to go about it. First, I guess it doesn't matter which order you do it, but you always arrange it by 2 ways. Row, right? The rows have to equal, and by function type. For example, if it was like if it was like this case, right, you'd probably have 2 function types, t and constants, and 2 rows. So like you'd have 2 times 2 is 4 equations. Here we only have 1 function type, just constants. In 2 rows, we get 2 equations for our 2 unknowns. Right? So here, what are the 2 equations we get? What's the row 1 say?
0 equals 4 equals 0.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter what you put the 0 on. We get this. You might want to subtract the 4 over. Not too important. Second row tells us 0 equals
2A+3.
2A2 plus 3. So I'm gonna just leave the 2A2. Right. And now you can solve this. So again, I guess we can call this like equation 1 and equation 2. How will we use that? Oh right, you get A2 immediately. Sorry. Yeah. A2 is -3/2. Plug it back in. Yeah, A1 minus 3/2 plus. I'm just gonna write 4 as 8 over 2 to save some time. So A1 is negative 5/2. Yeah. Okay. Are there any questions on that since I kind of moved to there? Okay. All right. So then you have XP. So XP, the particular solution is A1, A2. So negative 5/2 and negative 3/2. How did I copy the wrong? Yeah. Okay. And then all we have to do to get the general solution is what? Add that to XC. So then the general solution is, well, I mean, I think you could do it, right? C1 e to the t 1, 0 plus C2 e to the 2t 1, 1 plus this vector. And then that would be your final answer. Any questions? Yeah?
When you just got our XP, why are you not doing A1, A2 times T plus B?
No, that was a hypothetical case. That was a hypothetical if, like, instead of this, we had this.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a hypothetical.
So it's actually one B?
Huh?
I'm
Sorry?
confused. So the actual one has a
The actual one doesn't. This, like, we would guess this if we had this in place of the right-hand side here.
Oh,
Yeah, like, that would be for a different problem. I just wanted to check on keeping you guys guessing on your toes.
What is overlapping is this?
If it doesn't overlap, yeah, good question. So if it doesn't overlap, do the same thing, like make your first guess based on what the right-hand side is. If it doesn't overlap, keep that one and shifted. So there's multiple terms. So that's exactly like the one on our 7th quiz. On our 7th quiz, there's an overlap with like e to the t. So we had to guess both the shifted one and the unshifted one. And it turned out both of them had a factor. Like both of them contributed something. Like the other one didn't just go to 0. So yeah, check out that quiz if you want to see a problem with that too. Okay. Other questions? Okay. You can also do this with eigenvector decomposition. So right, you can see that in the PDF. Cool. So yeah, one more check. Last questions? First step, solve for xc. Then from there, if you're doing, question?
Just one question.
Yeah.
What if you have a free variable? I don't know if you did before in those A1, A2, or 3.
Yeah. So a free variable will only pop up if there is an overlap.
Okay.
Because if there's an overlap, that means that you're expecting, like, what was our guess? We would have to repeat the overlapped guess too, and the shifted one. So the repeat of that overlapped one will give us repeats of the complementary solution. That's why we'll get a free one. So you can set the free variable to 0 because you already accounted for it with like your xc. It's already accounted for. Cool. Other questions? Okay, so yeah, if for like the overlap one, right, check out the quiz solution. Quiz 7, I believe. Yeah.
So what about for AB and questions?
For, I was just gonna do C. 4A has a defect, and I think 4B is a complex one. Right. So we can do those maybe after we get through 8B, 5, and 6C.
Okay.
Sound okay? Okay. Cool. So right, to recap, solve for the complementary solution first, right? Find your eigenvalues, eigenvectors, compute xc. Then from there, if you're doing undetermined coefficients, right, to look at the inhomogeneous part, make your educated guess based on its function type, check for any overlaps, right? If you need to shift your guess, keep your original one and add on the shifted one for vectors. That's where it changes. Okay. Then, right, take the derivative of your guess, plug it into your equation, get your system of equations, split it up by row and function type, and then solve your constants. Okay. So that's like the game plan for undetermined coefficients in vector form. Okay, so yeah, let's go on to 8B. All right. So we're going to solve with power series. Y double prime minus x plus 1 y squared. This is going to be very long. Equals 0. X not equals -1. Okay. So before we begin, or when you set up your power series solution, like start out with the formula based on the center. So it's the same as you would if it was centered at 0, right? Sum from k equals 0 to infinity, a sub k, but when we multiply the a sub k instead, plus 1, right? Minus x naught is going to be x plus 1. And then right to the kth power. Okay. And then what do we do with that? We need to plug it in, so we need to take the derivative. So what's y prime?
K, A, K, X plus 1 to the K naught.
k ak x plus 1 to the k minus 1. And what does k start at? 1. We also need a second derivative. So what's the second derivative start at? 2. And then what's inside? And then we plug this in. I want to save the space here, but anyways, plug in. All right, y double prime. We have that. K equals to infinity. K minus 1. AK. Plus 1 k equals 2. Minus this guy, x plus 1 times the first derivative. And then also minus y. And the right hand side equals 0. Cool. Hopefully there's no mistakes there. If there are, then just shout at me. Right, and then green is better. Right, what do we want to do? Well, first of all, right, the equation was already given with coefficients that were in terms of x plus 1 to the k. So like that one in the homework, / the one that was on the, that we did in section, not in the quiz. Right, the one that we did in section, right, we had to manipulate that shit. So here it's already good. We don't need to do anything. What are we going to do to this term? Pull it in. So pull that here. We're going to add 1 there. So all that does is removes the k, removes the minus 1. Right? So now that thing is just to the kth power. Cool. Any questions so far? Okay. So right now we should. I hope no one needs this. Does anyone still need this board? Okay. Okay, so now I would recommend re-indexing everything according to the powers of x plus 1 to the n. Right? That's what we did before. So like for the first series, what's our n in the first series? From reshifting. Close. K minus 2. You want it to be the exponent here. Okay. So that's set as n. So from there, when we put this into the re-index series, we plug in k equals n plus 2. And then n starts, well, k started at 2, so that means that n here will start at 0. So that's how we do the re-indexing. If you don't want to do this, right, some people like to skip this. This is kind of just for clarity's sake. Second series and third series, they're both n equals k already. Okay, so they're kind of unchanged. Okay, so 3, index. So here we have the first series now starts at 0 to infinity, and we plug in, n plus 2. I just call them n because like we re-index. Yeah, n plus 2, n plus 1. A sub n plus 2, x plus 1 to the n. Right? That's the whole reason I'm doing this re-indexing. Right? Mainly it's for that the x plus 1 is the nth power. And then minus these two series. N minus, n equals infinity, Any questions so far? Hopefully no mistakes. And now is where we check out what each of them starts at. So which one has the highest starting power? The first, second, or third? Second. All right, that one starts at n equals 1. So what do we have to do to the first and third?
Strip off the zero term.
Pull out the first term. Yeah. So that means we have to pull out the n equals 0 term from the first and third.
I think I can pull it.
So when we do that, the n equals 0 term here, when we plug n equals 0, what do we pull out?
2A2.
Yeah, just the classic 2A2. And then plus the rest of the sum. That one will now start at 1. And then same thing. Oh, what an idiot. Okay. I'm gonna erase this. Okay. This one's unchanged. That was the largest. And then this one, what do we pull out? The last one?
A0.
Right. So it's a minus A0, and then also minus the rest of the series. So just be careful with the signs. Right. And the rest of the series starts at n equals 1. So now everything's nicely ordered from n equals 1 in powers of x plus 1 to the n, and combine everything. Pull out all the constants probably to the very front too, just to save yourself losing them. Right? You don't want to accidentally forget the A0s there somewhere. And yeah, just be careful. Right? Distribute the negative, for example. And keep track of your coefficients. So pull out all the constants. We have 2A2 minus A0. And you want to think of this as like your x plus 1 to the 0th power. And we have the rest of the series from n equals 1 to infinity, all attached to these n plus 1 to the n's, or x plus 1 to the n's. Right? So then what are the coefficients that are attached to all of them when we add these series together? Or I guess subtract series together. Yeah, n plus 2 times n plus 1, a n plus 2.
Minus A0.
Yeah, minus n a n minus a n, right? Okay, cool. Oh yeah, thanks. Equals 0. Yeah, yeah. And this, I guess including the minus sign, you can think of this as minus n plus 1 a sub n. Right. So now is where we want to read off, kind of like we did with partial fractions, actually exactly the same. It's like read off your coefficients of x plus 1 to the n. Right. So what do we get? Constant one, we have 2a2 minus a0 equals 0. Okay. Okay, and what does that tell us? A2 is, yeah, A0 divided by 2. Cool. We already expect A0 and A1 to be free, but I think the professor says, like, conclude that at the end, right? You see what the recursion relation spits out, and see what any of these things tell you, like the pulled out terms tell you, and then maybe infer that. Just in general, it kind of turns out that way. So that's what you get for the constant. Every other higher power is given by the recursion relation. So, I forgot the name of this constant. Right. So for x plus 1 to the 0 constant. Sorry. I usually like to label them like constant and then power. Okay. So for those terms with n, for what values of n does this apply?
Greater than equal to 1?
Yeah. So how can you tell? Okay, look at the starting index here. Okay. N starts at 1. That's how we get this. And then what needs to hold, right? This minus this has to equal 0. So I guess I'll write that out first. But you can pretty much just you can already determine what the recursion relation is. So we want to isolate the higher one. So an plus 2 is what we want to isolate. This is going to equal an times n plus 1, I suppose. Or you can notice that you can already cancel it out. Great. And now you can definitely notice it cancels out. See, the coefficients are an over n plus 2. Cool. So, right, and again, this is for n bigger than or equal to 1. So this gives us which coefficients? Starts at 3 and goes on forever. Right? So that gives A3 and on, A2 we have here. So then all we have to do now is conclude that, yeah, indeed, A0 and A1 are free constants. So what the person wants is basically this, the free ones, any predetermined ones from the pulled out terms, and then the recursion relation. And that's it. Any questions? And of course, like, you know, that free time, you can like plug it in and check it out. Okay, so no. Those 5 and 60. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, will you pull out the whole solution on the website?
Yeah, later on though, like Saturday.
Or on the same of those?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I did all of them. That's what took me like 5-6 hours. Yeah. Yeah. That's also I was like, get started on this thing early. Okay, so 5. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Question. Sorry. N equals 0 would be for this.
Like for if you're plugging 0 to the equation?
For n.
Yeah.
And here you could, like, we could plug in k equals 0 here. Yeah. It doesn't apply to the recursion relation though, because that's only for bigger than or equal to 1. Like in general, like we've seen sometimes these indices have like n minus something too, right? You should never have negative indices. So if you ever see that, you know that something is off. Okay, so, right, any more questions on student? Okay, so this is number 5. Prove that, or is this set linear independent? So he gives us a set of 3 functions. 1, negative 6, e to the negative t. 1, negative 6, e to the negative 2t. And then like 2, 3, 2, negative 3, negative t. And he wants us to determine if this is independent enough. Okay. So for any sort of linear independence question, always start with the definition, right? Unless you can kind of see that they're not independent. Right? Usually, at least for those examples that are in the book, when it's dependent, you need to just, it's kind of stupid, but like, you want to see if you can write one of them as a linear combination of the others. That tells you it's dependent. I'll talk a little bit about how you can see that in this one. But, right, this one, like, it looks maybe naively like it could be dependent. Like, one bad thing to do here is to plug in t equals 0. Because you have a set of 3 vectors in a two-dimensional space that's always dependent. So that's false, right? That's not working here, right? The difference here is like you have different exponents, right? Function type matters. So always start with the definition. So what's the definition? Or what's the equation that we check for the definition?
C1 μ1 plus C2 μ2 plus C3 μ2 equals 0.
Right. Weight all of them by c's and add them and take their sum. Set that equal to 0. Determine what C1, C2, C3 are. So we have C1 e to the negative t 1 negative 6 plus C2 e to the negative 2t 1 negative 6 plus C3 e to the negative t 2 negative 3 equals 0. Technically like 0 comma 0, right? And then what we want to do is determine the CI. Right, that's our goal. So, what would you guys do here?
Multiplying by μ2t.
So, you see exponents? That's what you want to do, right? That's the professor's favorite trick. Well, he says like divide by the largest exponent, right? Or you could divide by the smallest exponent. Either way, you just want like, you know, the extreme ones, right? After you do that, you can limit to t equals, you can limit to positive or negative infinity, right? So don't always just think like positive infinity. You can always just go backwards too, negative infinity time. So like here, right, so first, take the largest power. So it looks like e to the negative 2t, and divide by it, right? So this is the largest, or quote unquote largest exponent. Divide it out. Just here, so there. So when we divide that out, right? So divide by e to the negative 2t, which is indeed the same as multiplying e to the multiplying by e to the 2t. Do the same thing. What's attached to C1? E to the t, right? And then 1 negative 6. Yeah, thanks. And then plus C2, well, that one's intentionally divided out. So there's no exponent there. And then attached to C3, same thing, e to the t. 2 negative 3 equals 0, 0, right? And then, now we take a limit in t as it goes to plus or minus infinity, right? Plus infinity here does nothing here. You get like infinity. So it doesn't do you any good. So, as this is what we want to take t goes to negative infinity. Right? What does the first term go to? 0. 0. Second term is this constant. Third term? 0. Technically 0, 0. So, you determine that
C2 equals 0.
C2 0. Right? Cool. So now what you want to do is plug that in. So plug in what we know. So now we're left with, and solve for C1 and C3. So now we're just left with C1 e to the go back to the original, negative t plus c3 e to the negative t 2 negative 3 equals 0. Because we determined that c2 is 0. And then now determine what c1 and c3 are. So now in this case, well, I think, well, what would you do? Yeah, they both have the e in common, right? It's just, like for any time t, that's just a scalar. So you want to actually divide that out. Right? Equivalently, like if you plug in t equals 0, it does the same job. But anyways, right? So if we plug in t equals 0 or divide by e to the negative t, they do the same job. We'd have c1 1 negative 6 plus c3 2 negative 3 equals 0 0. Right? How does that look like as a matrix? 1 2 negative 6 negative 3 technically 0 0. I'm going to keep it like this just for something slick. Right? Like that's what the equation says, right? And if you want to solve this, you just augment that 0 0. Right? Then you row reduce it, make sure you get two pivots, CC1 and C3 are 0. Right? So here's a slick way to do this without even doing row operations. How can, is there an easy way we can tell that the only solution is 0 0? If they're the same, well, they should be different vectors, right? Like, the idea is like the matrix should be invertible. That's the idea, right? If the matrix is invertible, the only solution to 0 is the 0 vector. What's the easiest way to tell if a matrix is invertible? You don't even need the 1 over. Take the determinant. Yeah. So here, the determinant of 1 negative 6, 2 negative 3 is what? 9. Mainly it's not 0. So this matrix is invertible. The only solution to 0 0 is C1 and C3 both equaling 0 0. Works for a 3 by 3 too. Right? If the determinant of 3 by 3 is not 0, it's invertible, you can conclude this. It's pretty nice. So, here goes what we can put on example. So, when we conclude, we have that C1, C2, C3 are all 0. So, if all the coefficients are 0, what do you determine about the set? Right. I guess I should add on is the only solution. So the set is independent. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, question?
So in general, if they have the same like function or like component or whatever, because both these have the e to the negative t,
Yeah.
you can just divide it out and then set up a matrix like this?
Yeah, for something like this, like, yeah. Because that's what it amounts to. Like, these functions are just the same scalar for both vectors. Yeah. When it's different functions, yeah, you can. You don't want to do them. Yeah. Same function, yeah. Cool. Other questions? All right. So at least last on this preliminary list is 6C. Just into. So use an inverse Laplace transform example. I guess it's fine. Inverse transform of, that's a 5, not s, over s plus 1 to the 6th. And then s plus 2 squared plus 25. And he says specifically, it's okay to leave a convolution. In C only. Right. Okay. So that's kind of already a hint. You're gonna set this up as a convolution, right? So how do we want to? I'm just gonna copy the function again. 5 over s plus 1 6. How do we want to reinterpret this in terms of a product of transform planes? So the constant's actually kind of a tricky way to put it. It's not entirely obvious, I think. You can just pull it out even, yeah. I'd probably say just pull it out, save yourself the headache, and deal with other scalings as they come along. Okay. But yeah, you want to view it as the s plus 1 to the 6th piece times that other thing. S plus 2 squared plus, I guess this doesn't need practice here.
But 5 squared to 5, so is it 5 to the second one?
This should probably go with the second one, exactly, right? But like, if we do it there later, we'll realize we're going to divide by 5 at the end of the day, and it'll cancel. Yeah. But yeah, you want to see that too. You can lump it over there too. So, right. They both seem to have a shift, right? So we actually have to keep that in mind, right? So first things first, if we're going to use a convolution at all, right? What is this going to look like? It's going to look like this. You want to think of it in this terms. Like, it's the first thing is inverse transform convoluted with the second thing. Like, that's how you want to interpret it, right? Before you like jump into doing any inverse transforms. Okay. So what you really need is you need this one first, and then that one second, and then you need to find those independently and then take a convolution, I think. Right? So it's kind of like you're micromanaging your problem. Let's do that in order. Right? First one. So the first one, L inverse of, or inverse transform of 1 over s plus 1 to the 6th, right? So we see there's a shift. So what does that become?
E negative t, and
yeah, e to the negative t, and then what you're left with inverse transforming is the thing without the shift. So it's like 1 over s to the 6th. Okay. And then what's that one's inverse transform?
negative t.
Right, there should be a 5 factorial up there, right?
And then dividing factorial.
So we have to divide by a 5 factorial. Right, and then e to the negative t out in front, and then if there was a 5 factorial up there, what would this invert back to?
5
T to the 5th. Okay? That's t to the 5th e to the negative t divided by 5 factorial. That's the solution. I think that might be that I would do that. Yeah, hopefully I did that solution. Let's see with the next one. So next one we have L inverse of 2 squared plus 25. Right, and then now, okay, we see the same. Right, first one had this s plus 1 shift that gave us this exponent. This one, we have an s plus 2 shift, so what are we going to get in front now? Yeah, either negative 2t, inverse transform of just without the shift, which is just s squared plus 25. So now you can see, like, yeah, if you kept the 5 with this term, that would be perfect, right? But we didn't. That's okay. What is it? What is this inverse transform to?
Sine 5t.
Sine of 5t. Yeah, and then we have to divide by 5 the omega. Okay. So we have e to the negative 2t sine 5t divided by 5. Right. And now put it all together. So, I guess I don't want to rewrite that. I'm just going to write answer. Is 5 times the first function, which is e to the negative t. I guess I should put the t bits in front, but that's okay. Divided by 5 factorial, convoluted with this thing. And yeah, the 5's cancel, but there's still 5 factorial remaining. Okay. So like at the end of the day, I guess you can simplify it to 1 over 5 factorial, t to the 5th e to the negative t, convoluted with e to the negative 2t sine of 5t. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Why does the 5 not distribute across the convolution?
Where? Like the constants?
Yeah, that we pulled out in the beginning. Because like in the beginning we pulled out the 5 and it was 5 times the
Yeah.
inverse Laplace of all that.
Yeah. Constants just pull out. Yeah. They pull out of Laplace transforms, they pull out of the convolutions. Yeah.
They don't multiply the both of them.
No, yeah, it's just a constant out in front of the whole thing. Yeah. Like the convolution is an integral, right? You can just pull a constant out of an integral. That's how you can think about it. Cool. Right, any questions? Okay, so we did all the ones that were like I just surveyed at the beginning. So what was there was one question that someone asked, like, was it number 4 or number like 6? So that, well, yeah, what questions do you guys have next? Number 2, and what else?
4 for 8.
4A.
Yeah. 4 A and B.
For B, you did a lecture?
No, for A. But he was going to do for C, but then he said for
Okay. Yeah, I heard he did, yeah, 4A in lecture, right?
Yeah.
So he did 4A in lecture. So, do you guys want to do 4B? 4B, I think is good to look at if you have the hint. Yeah, 4B is good to look at. What else? Other questions? 60? Yeah, I like that one. To look at. And others?
Yeah,
We did?
on the lecture.
Oh, you did that in lecture? Okay, cool. Thanks. Good. Others? Oh, 2, right? 2. 2 should be first. And others? 7. Sure. Okay, that sounds good. So 2 is good because you can see something like this with like eigenvector decomposition, which I guess You see this? If you do that, if you do that problem that we did with untuned coefficients, number 4C, if we do that with eigenvector decomposition, you'll realize that some equations look like linear, so you have to do with integration factor. So, excuse me. Okay, so 2. So explicit solution. So what kind of equation is this? It's not separable, actually. Actually not separable. Linear. In other words, what method do you use? Integration factor. Right? Linear equations use the integration factor on. So so in here, okay, we usually call it R of X, but how is it defined? A to what? Right, so R equals E to the integral of Px dx. What's your P here? P is 3, right? And here it's integral of 3 dx, so that's just 3x. So Rx equals e to the 3x. And what do we do with that? Multiply it to both sides of our equation. Okay? So, what does the left-hand side become? And let's let other people have notes like this. Yeah. So, what does the left-hand side become? Sorry? Oh, the right-hand side, yeah, becomes 2x. 2x, yeah. What about the left-hand side? Remember it becomes a perfect derivative. Of what, though? Y times 3x. It's always going to be y times r in general. So it's going to be derivative of y times integration factor. I honestly think I inhaled like too much of this. Oh, that was weird. Okay, so now we want to clearly undo this derivative, integrate both sides. Left-hand side obviously just undoes it. Okay. So left-hand side, okay, and integrate. Okay, so like I know a lot of you guys like to just take what you had here and like just tack on the integrals, right? dx. Left-hand side becomes y e to the 3x. And the right-hand side integrates to x squared. Good, plus c. I was playing dumb there, honestly. And then all you need to do is just isolate your y, right? Divide by the e to the x. Or multiply by e to the negative 3x. Same thing, right? So x squared plus c. And that's your answer. Okay. Cool. Nice, I think on board. Any questions? Can you think of another way to do this problem? Yeah. You can do this at a second order, right? Yeah, like this is a chapter 2.5 type question too. So like r plus 3 equals 0, yc is c e to the negative 3x. That was that thing right here, right? Then you make a guess for the right-hand side. You would guess yp is ax e to the 3x. That e to the 3x has an overlap. You shift it once to x squared e to the 3x. That's right there. Okay? So if you do it like chapter 2.5, you get the same answer.
Can you just do it because the whole you come after each other.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do it. So like, I mean, okay, obviously like you can just do this and get full credit, but like, you know, maybe you get like a mental block. Who knows? The alternatives. Use 2.5. So first, for YC, when we pretend the right-hand side is 0, our auxiliary equation here is what again? R plus 3. Just an R plus 3, right? One derivative only, so R plus 3 equals 0. R equals negative 3. So YC is C e to the negative 3x. Cool. 2, we need YQ. So our right-hand side is of the form x e to the 3x. So I guess an initial guess. What would we guess for yp initially? A times what? Ax e to the negative 3x, right? That's what you initially guess. Is that overlapped?
Oh, no.
So, right, good comment. Like, for non-vector ones, we don't need to guess the other ones. For when it's not a vector case, we don't need to do that. Yeah, it's a little different.
It doesn't overlap because of that x, right?
I'm asking you guys. Yes or no?
No.
So, here's the trick, right? What's the function type that came out from that root? Let's do that. Like the function type that popped out is e to the negative 3x here. Right? That's the function type. That's the same function type here. So it does have an overlap. Even though it doesn't look like it. It's actually overlap. Right? What did the professor do before? He would take derivatives. And derivatives do like overlap. So we actually have to take this. Right, so there is an overlap with either negative 3x. It's kind of like the same as the eigenvector before, like the generalized eigenvectors. It's like a family of either negative 3x. So instead, we would guess how much do we shift it by? Just by x, because it only occurs once. Right? So we just shift it by x, so it becomes ax squared e to the negative 3x. Is our actual guess. Then do the same thing you would do before. Plug that into your equation, right? Find the derivative, plug it in. In this case, right, let's just do the derivative quickly. Yp prime, there's a product rule here. 2ax, yeah, thanks. 2ax e to the negative 3x. And then minus 3a. That's our derivative. Plug it in. Where's that equation? There it is. Right? So 2ax. So yp prime. Minus 3yp. So minus 3a x squared e to the negative 3x. Has to equal 2x. So I guess just a comment for your guess, right? You said that why not guess like b e to the negative 3x, right? You could, because it never hurts. You're kind of just getting more work for yourself. but you could do it. Like, what could happen is B could be free, and then you repeat YC. Or if it's not a correct guess, you get that B is 0. So that's what, it doesn't hurt, right? It just causes kind of more work for you. Okay, so we have this. Plus. I was like, something's wrong here. Yeah, so what cancels?
3,
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so that cancels. Yeah, so these cancel. And then what we really have is 2ax e to the negative 3x equals 2x e to the negative 3x. What's a equal? Yeah. So plug that back into here, we get yp is just x squared e to the negative 3x. Yp plus yc is e to the negative 3x, x squared plus c, which is what we had before. So both ways work. Okay, cool. Any questions on either method? Yeah?
How would it overlap in here?
Right, so it overlaps with really the family of this exponent. Okay. If that one had like a lot of multiplicity, it would eventually repeat, it would actually eventually overlap, right? So that's one way to look at it. It's like it overlaps that family. So shift it. The other way is like the professor likes to say, take a guess, right? And then take derivatives and see if they overlap. And then if they do, shift the guess accordingly.
So the derivatives can't overlap.
Yeah, the derivatives can't overlap either because like, look, they should always just be in line with the family. They should really just be in line with the family. Like, at least for all the functions we're working with, yeah.
So we had y double prime plus y prime e1 and so on. For
Sure.
the question, will we have to go to ax cubed?
Not necessarily. It depends on the multiplicity of the e to the negative 3x root. Like if that had multiplicity 2, then yes. If it only had multiplicity 1, like that's no different than this. You don't need to. You only shift it once, not twice. Yeah.
So when we guess y, shouldn't we make a guess that includes all the derivatives of the right-hand side?
I guess formally, but I guess if we look at it here and you take a derivative, it repeats yc. Right, it repeats the complementary piece. So like, I think that's a good point though. Like if this was not the same exponent as the complementary, like it was like 5x, yeah, I think you would need to guess ax e to the 5x plus b e to the 5x. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, because I remember when we guessed y, we have to notice that it cycles the right-hand side when you get to the group, so I thought this one didn't cycle.
I think the cycles for sines and cosines. These repeat themselves. Like, we take derivatives, we'll just end up at the end of the day with just x e to the x's and like e to the x's, or x e to the 3x's and e to the 3x's. Yeah, that's what will happen here. We'll just get repeated ones. Cosines and sines will cycle.
Right.
Other questions? Yeah, this is sneaky. Like if you do it the alternative way, it's like, oh, there's this weird overlapping thing that doesn't even look overlapped, but it actually is. So this is 2, right? Right, 4b. 4b is right, so 4b is the complex one, right? Right. And he gives us a very generous hint. Right? He tells us what an eigenvalue and eigenvector are. So like, with these matrix systems, right, the idea is like you always have to find eigenvalues, eigenvectors, generate your solution. With the complex ones, it's even more work after you find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So he kind of saves us some time. So for B, the matrix is given by x prime equals 4, negative 1, 13, 0, x. And he gives one of the eigenvalues to be 2 plus 3i, and its corresponding eigenvector to be 2 plus 3i and 13. So if you didn't use this hint, your eigenvector might look different, but it's because it's multiplied by a complex number. So like, I think I saw someone get like 1 and 2 minus 3i instead. So like, that's actually the same eigenvector, just a complex multiple. Right, so you can check this if you want, but like, obviously on the test you're trying to save time, so just use it. So with complex ones, we always know that they come in pairs, right? So if he gave you this one, you know the other one's 2 minus 3i, right? You don't need to do anything more. Likewise, with that pair, you know that you just need this. You need to just use this with the eigenvector and split off the solution. Right? So that's all you need to do for this problem. Right? So from the given, we just need to split a solution. Into the real and imaginary parts. Okay. Is that okay for everyone? What does a solution look like, assuming like c equals 1 in front? Okay, so before we do that, like for a general lambda and eigenvector corresponding to it, forget about if it's complex, what would it look like? Yeah, it would look like either lambda t and then v, I guess, corresponding to that lambda, right? So here, lambda is 2 plus 3it, right? Each of the 2 plus 3i in parentheses times t. And don't forget to distribute the t to both terms. Our eigenvector is 2 plus 3i, comma 13. Okay. What do we usually do to both these terms to make our lives easier? Also separate these into real and imaginary. If the vector is okay, the exponents we need to rewrite. So 2 plus 3i parentheses t. First, you want to split that up. That's 2t, I guess, plus 3it. But that's just e to the 3it. I want to write it specifically like I times 3t. Right. Split up a sum exponent into a product. Okay. And then, what does that equal using an identity? Cosine 3t plus I sine of 3t. Okay. The general one is the theorem is Euler's identity. Just to recall it, e to the I theta would be cosine of theta plus I sine of theta. Right, that's what we're using. Right there. So we use that to split this up. The real exponent will just multiply our way in front, always. So just keep that on its own. We have this cosine 3t plus I sine 3t. And then we also want to split our vector, right? So what's the real part of this vector without any i's?
2 and 13.
2 in the first entry, and 13 in the second. And then we have the extra 3i that we're going to add on. And I'd always recommend pulling out the I in front. So it's I 3, 0. Okay, and then what do you do from here? Foil. Right? If you can see the answer without foiling, that's fine too. But right, just foiling will help avoid mistakes, I guess. So if we foil this, again, keep the e to the 2t way out in front, and then we have like 4 terms, right? So cosine times this one, you have 2 cos 3t, 13 cos 3t. I guess let's do cosine in the imaginary part. So I, and then 3 cosine 3t, and 0 cosine 3t. Now we have to do the same for sine. Pull out the I still. And then we have the I squared. So those are 4 terms. What do you want to do the I squared? Always. Make that a -1. Okay. And then add up the real parts and add up the imaginary parts, right? So real part, what do we, oh, 0, sorry. So real part, what are we left with? We have this vector minus that last one, right? So 2 cosine 3t minus 3 sine t in the first entry only. And then in the last entry, we have a 13 cosine 3t. And then 5 e to the 2t. Same thing, but pull out the I, add these two together. So 2 sine 3t plus 3 cos 3t, 13 sine 3t. And then what you want to do is realize this is your real part without the I. Like this is your real. And then this is your imaginary. And like when we're writing the solution, right, we don't want the complex thing, so drop the I. And okay, so I guess just to finish it here, right? What you want to do is then just take C1 times the real plus C2 times the imaginary. So X is C1 times the real plus C2 times the imaginary part. Which I guess if you put it together, C1 gives it 2C. That's plus C2 times the imaginary. And then you're done. Right. This is your X. Okay. Any questions? Yeah. Like you saw before, a lot of busy algebraic work, right? The thing you want to just realize here is like once he gives you this, you don't even need to do anything except split the solution, right? That's what you want to just immediately recognize if he gives us the eigenvalue and eigenvector. Especially if it's just 2 by 2 and we know that that must come in like pairs. Right? We don't need to do any more work. Yeah?
You say that we know that the second pair is 2 minus 3i.
Yeah.
Does that mean is there some way we can get the second eigenvector?
Conjugate it as well. 2 minus 3i 13. Yeah, if you needed it. Yeah. Yep.
Can you show the row operation? Is the exam that I have about
Yeah, sure. Like if you had to find them. I have that in the solution, so maybe I'll do it at the end if we have time. Is that okay? Yeah, I have that in the solutions. So. Oh, he gave us the eigenvalue already, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can do that. Sorry. Yeah. Oh shoot. I'll raise it back up. I'll raise it back up. Right, if we wanted to solve it, right, we'd have to do matrix minus lambda I, right? So the matrix minus lambda I, we subtract parentheses 2 plus 3i from the diagonal entries, right? So we're going to have, maybe I'll write it out in full. 4 minus plus 3i. And then we're appending 0, 0. And then, well, when you actually take the subtraction, what's left on the left is 2 minus 3i, right? 4 minus 2 and then minus 3i. So don't forget to distribute that. -1, -15, and then -2 minus 3. So with 2 by 2, we know that we have to have, yeah, question?
Is it negative or is it just stated?
Oh, sorry, that's, yeah, that's, thank you. Sorry, with complex pairs, or just for a general eigenvalue, if it's a 2 by 2, we know we have to have one free variable, so we know that the two rows must say the same thing. So just pick on one of the rows. Okay. So we know one entry is free, and that row 1 is some scalar multiple times row 2. And here it's a complex scalar multiple. In particular, if we multiply this by 2 plus 3i and then subtract, it works. You can kind of tell by like the last entry here. That's probably the best way to tell. So just pick on one of the rows. So like, I don't know, you might have been inclined to pick the first row. Which row do you think the professor picked? Second, yeah. So he picked on the second row. So what does that tell us? 13 V1. I guess I'll do that as minus 2 plus 3i V2 equals 0. Right, we always move the imaginary one over. Always move the imaginary one over and then set that one free. So, right, 13 V1 equals 2 plus 3i V2. V2 equals free. Right, probably divide by the 13. Right, divide this by 13. So then what does it look like? It looks like V2 times 2 plus 3i, yeah, over 13, 1. But yeah, we can just rescale by 13. So that's how we got the one that we had. Okay.
How do you know the row 1 is free?
Heuristically, we know that one variable has to be free, right? Like one of the entries has to be free. It doesn't matter which one. Like we could set V1 to be free and then have V2 be defined in terms of V1 or vice versa. It has to be free because we know that this lambda is an eigenvalue. If it's an eigenvalue, there has to be an eigenvector, meaning there has to be a free entry that we can get such a vector from. Okay, cool. So yeah, any question on like finding this if you needed it? All right. Cool. And the last one says, not the last one on our list. So let's see. Alright. So Laplace transform. The equation we're given is x double prime plus 2x prime plus x equals delta of t minus 3. And initial conditions 0 and 1. So what's the first thing we do? Transform. Yeah, transform. So in this time now, what does x double prime transform into? X of s. But now what we subtract off? Minus s times x0, so that's just 0. And then minus 1. Right? So the s will multiply to be non-derivative. So it's just minus 1. I think one way to figure out the... No, just kidding. Just kidding. Nothing. That's on the worksheet you gave out, right? Is that on this table? I think so.
On his table.
I think it is. His table is just all of them listed, so it's hard to find them.
It's definitely on your worksheet.
Yeah. When I looked at his table, I think I had everything I had plus one more, so it should be on there. So just be careful when you're looking for it. Right? This isn't organized like nicely. So that's the transform of x double prime. We have 2 times the transform of x single prime. So that's now s, xs, and then what do we subtract off?
Oh.
So be careful here, right? We minus x0, but that's just nothing. Plus, and then plus x of x. And then Laplace transform with delta. So what's that? Yeah, so from the table, that's 3s. It's kind of similar to the heavy side, right? Just there's no division by it's just an exponent. Okay, then we isolate our big X, right? So here, what are the coefficients attached to our big X in this case? Okay, we have a plus 1 here, so we're gonna have to move that over. And then we have that other thing after the delta transform. And then we isolate x of s, right? We might want to think of this instead as what? Yeah. Unless you want to like do it in like hyperbolic cosine sine, I guess. I would say write it as that. So when we isolate our big X, we have 1 over this. And then the exponent. Okay. And now we need to invert that. That's the transform of our solution. We need to invert it to get our original solution back. So what's it going to be? Well, it's the sum of these two. So we need an inverse transform of each piece. So L inverse of 1 over s plus 1 squared plus L inverse of e to the negative 3s over s plus 1 squared. Okay. So, does anyone still need this board? I think I'd like to like continue down here. Okay. So while I'm racing, what shifting property do you think we need on the second term? So like before, let's do this term by term. Okay? So let's just do it term by term. Let's do the easy one. Any questions? So right, let's do the first one first, or let's do this term first. What's the first thing you notice? Good. Right, you see a shift. So what's that going to pull out in front? Either negative t. Right, we're going backwards, so we're going back to t. And then what we really be left with is inverting just without the shift 1 over s squared. And yeah, what does that go back to? T. So t e to the negative t. Good. Right. Now we do the second one. So the second one's kind of interesting. So right, what's the shifting property we're going to use on this one? Like, what would it go back to? It's still the heavy sides, right? Like, the forward transform of that heavy side times f gives e to like that shift times transform of f, right? So here's the identity, right? So the idea is like, we want to use this one. Equals e to the negative a s s, right? Right, we're going to use this. Sorry. Okay. So it's like, okay, this is our exponent. Our big f of s is this thing, right? 1 over s plus 1 squared. So I think it might be best to find out what little f of t is first, right? Find out what little f of t is first here. Right. We need little f of t first. So little f of t is given by the inverse transform of without that exponent. Little f of t is given by inverse transform of, no, right, this term without the e, right? So it's just 1 over s plus 1 squared. Well, we just do that, right? What is that? Yeah. So we want L inverse of this over s plus 1 squared, right? Using this property, it's going to be this inside. So what's our a in this case? 3. So we're going to have u of t minus 3. And then, yeah, technically like f of t minus 3. This is our f. So, right, times, yeah, t minus 3. And then e to what? Yeah, you could distribute the negative or just keep it out in front, right? It doesn't matter. So that's the second term. So all we need to do now is add them together. So add the first and the second together. Right, so then we'll get our answer. First one was t e to the negative t. This one is u of t minus 3 times t minus 3 e to the negative t minus 3. And that's results. Are there any questions on that? It's kind of intricate to this. It's kind of interesting using the Heaviside one backwards. It's like you need to find the middle FFT first, and then like plug in that shit. Okay, so right, that's all the last asked questions. So are there more questions? Yeah.
Can we maybe use the that we have to like
Yeah.
For the second term?
Yeah. So like
that is just kind of condition.
times with 1 over.
Yeah, I think we could, but it would be a. Yeah, it should work. What you may not pick up is the heavy side. That heavy side might not appear in the convolution. The idea is like they gave you a fake definition of convolution. So I'd rather not get into that, but that's why. I think if you did a convolution, you didn't have that heavy side there, I'd be really hard pressed to mark off on that if you did the convolution right.
Well, hold on a minute. You can't just say fake definition of convolution and not explain, like.
The real definition of convolution is from like negative infinity to infinity. And then t is a variable inside. I'd rather not delve into that, but yeah. It's a little different. Yep.
But if it's like we can leave it as a convolution.
Yeah, by all means, go for it. But I don't think this one let us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all for the delta one. It's like the first part, solve the first one first, and convolute to the right hand side part.
Yeah, yeah.
So, all this one.
Mike, do you want to do it? You can do it if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Let me check on any other questions, because we covered a lot. Okay, let's do this quickly. Yeah, we could do it. So like, alternative what is it again? Right, so we know that we can rewrite this as a convolution of product of inverses, where in particular, let's look at it this way. You can look at it like this. So we know what the first one came from. That came from a delta. And then, well, we did this like twice, so we know that's, yeah. So what does this equal? Where's the range of tau for a convolution? 0 to t, right? And then, kind of like with the heaviside integrals, keep the delta with just a tau. Like you don't want to shift that. So keep that as tau minus 3. And then make this one a t minus tau e to the negative parentheses t minus tau d tau. Okay. Or instead of using taus, you can use like y's. Okay. So how does the delta function act on this integral? Right? It does something really nice. Might be kind of a stretch. When is this not 0? So let's look at it on the side. Delta of tau minus 2. It's similar to the heavy side, it's only 1 and 0, but when is it 1? Almost. You want this to be 0, so it has to be positive. And it's 0 otherwise. Or at least that's how it looks like. Okay. Delta is really a bad function. Like, if you study graduate PDEs, it's like a bad function. Anyways, beside the point. All it does is it's 1 only at that time that it's 0. So with an integral, all it does is you evaluate the rest of the function at that time. So you just take t minus tau, e to the negative parentheses t minus tau, evaluate it at tau equals 3. Okay. We do that, you get t minus 3, e to the negative t minus 3, which is almost this. But it's missing that heavy side. Okay, so that's what I meant by like, it's kind of a fake convolution. The idea is like, it's on the balance, right? Like, that's really it. Like the heavy side's kind of what's cutting this off. That's all I can say. Cool, so I mean we have like 5 more minutes. Are there any more questions? Okay. Well, then I guess we can call it a day, right? I guess eat all the snacks. All the cookies look like they're gone, so that's good. So yeah, if there's any more snacks, right, take them. If you need your old quizzes, right, they're in the back. Feel free to email me questions too. I know like some of you guys might not like Piazza, so by all means, just email me your questions personally. And like, it'd be nice if you could take a picture of your work, whatever you're working on. It helps me to like see what you're struggling with. So if you don't want to use Piazza, just send me all your emails. And of course, if you use Piazza, you know, you can. It's easier for you to write back to you in like a matrix or like an integral or something. That's about it. So I guess that's it. Good luck on all your exams, not just ours. And yeah, see you around. I'll have extra office hours on Monday, Tuesday. I'm tentatively thinking about like 2:30 to 4:30, because I know finals go from 1 to 3:30, and then like 4 to 6. So I'm thinking right between. Be okay. Seems like a not a stupid idea. Okay, good.